Hey guys, it's Enwa and welcome to the 12th episode of the Batcave Project. And today we are traveling back to the Way Manor and we are going to be upgrading it with all the new knowledge that we have found out and have practiced over the course of the last 11 episodes inside the Batcave. Because over a year ago I started this world and I had no idea what I was going into, what I wanted to do. I didn't have like a rough planning, except for this building. That's it. That's all I knew I wanted to do. Now, looking back, as you can see, the interior design is really lacking, and there's so much improvement that can be done now. Now that I've practiced over time, I've, looked at different blocks in different ways, and I can really see that this needs a lot of improvement. It's really lacking. So that's what I want to do, as well as doing a basement upgrade by adding my storage room in there now, so it's becoming a more survival base as well as just a massive house for decoration. And of course we'll have to do something with the back garden, although I am quite content about it. But I've always said that I want to do some custom trees at some point, so I think today is the day. So, where on earth do we start off? And we're going to be starting at the very beginning over here. As you can see, there is just this long road that goes straight to the building. Now, although it looks good, don't get me wrong, but some estates and manors and whatnot have this kind of circular road at the end. You've probably seen this in many films, especially in The Dark Knight Rises, where cars will come through and they can loop around and drop off and then loop around again and just leave. And that's kind of what I want to add today. So I'm going to show you a picture of the planning on the screen and just kind of give you a rough idea of what I kind of mean. Now, as well as that, I want to add in a massive fence / gate, whatever you want to call it, that goes around the entire area. So I'm not sure how big this is going to be. I do have a design for it, which I can show you on the screen as well. And basically, this will give us a good idea of this fence going all the way around this entire area. So nothing in this very dense forest can get through, because mobs do still spawn in this area. None of this has been lit up, so I am kind of scared. Although it has been lit up to a certain degree around this area here. But regardless, I want to add a little bit of sense of security and just kind of be assured that nothing's going to come through and or whatnot. So that's going to be the start. And then as the episode goes on, we're going to go through every single room and we're going to revisit what it was before and then what it will be afterwards. Because the more I look around here, the more it's just this simple copied and pasted kind of interior design, and it just does not look good now that I've spent so much time in the Batcave. So we have to do some sort of rehashing and really making it look a little bit more lively and really worth the money that Bruce Wayne has spent on this and his family. You know, his whole legacy is inside this massive manor. So let's get started on this gravelly road and let's improve it. So this is how it's looking at the moment. I think this is a massive improvement with the Way Manor, and kind of going through what you kind of see, I've extended the road a long way, and I've used a mixture of stairs, slabs, and pressure plates, buttons, you know, the usual, to add a little bit more depth. And then here we are. This is the kind of roundabout, so to speak, at a very smaller scale, and I absolutely love it. I'm so chuffed on the design of this. I really like the overall design. I think, yeah, it looks good, and I wanted to add something in the middle. I wanted to add at least some water, and then I was kind of playing around with shapes and just kind of left this as that. The next thing is I have marked some netherrack on either side, and this will be for the gate and the fences. This will go around the entire area. Now, this could either make it or break it. Okay, I may have gotten a little bit carried away, and I've kind of done a revamp of the garden as well. But it's okay. I'm going to go through it all, and I'm going to show you like some pictures from before, and then basically walking through everything that I've changed. So, as you can see behind me, the gate has been complete, and it goes all the way around the entire area of this building, and of course going through the garden. And I've built this gate that is like slightly open so you can still walk through. So I've used a combination of sandstone walls and some birch fences because I really like how they don't connect. Now, this is when it becomes a little bit more overwhelming. So of course we've seen this area before, but I've also started some custom trees, and I will tell you, it is so difficult to try and do this in one sitting because there are so many. And I've decided to have this wall go all the way over here, and it kind of stops. And to kind of fill in this empty space, I added in these custom trees that kind of go around. So I kind of wanted some, like the birch trees and the oak trees to be very different in terms of sizing and their shape. So the birch trees are, by no surprise, the easiest ones to build. They are just a long bit of, you know, birch wood, and then some birch leaves going all the way around the entire area, and then that kind of changes depending on what I was kind of in the mood to do. Now, with these oak trees, they are a little bit different. So I kind of wanted to not make them completely blocky. I kind of wanted to do this kind of diagonal kind of area where it stems from one middle and then it kind of splits up into two branches. And that's kind of what I've done. So with a little bit of like added root in the middle, it branches up and then they kind of go into their own different directions. And then I've kind of added this ball of leaves here to make it kind of look a little bit more full. So as we go through this area, again, you can see there has been a lot of change. And first and foremost, I've improved the graveyard. I haven't put the names on yet, but I have taken a screenshot so I don't forget. But I wanted to add this little bench here and then kind of make it a little bit of a little donut shape so you can go around. And obviously if there is other more incidents in the family, you can always add a few more graves. But I kind of wanted to add, I wanted to make them quite much more bigger. So as you can see, again, more custom trees have been built, and I've kind of can't be bothered to do these ones at the moment. So when I can, I will do them. Obviously, my no surprise, I did the birch trees first. The greenhouse has not changed. I don't think it will change because I am really content with how it looks. I love the style of it, you know, no problem at all. But as we walk out here, this entire area has changed. Now, this was something that I had at the very end of the Way Manor, and I didn't actually do it for aesthetic. This was purely just for functionality of the entire build itself. You know, I needed sheep and I needed leather from cows. So I was like, well, I just need to add just this little tiny fence to just put them all in. So I have broken them up into this little pen with some hay bales, with some rails on top, and a little shelter as well with a little overhang with the signs, and exactly the same onto this side with the sheep. They're all in this one area. And then a little flower bed with a bench looking outwards. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this section. It is very closed off, which is what I like, because I don't think the Wayne Manor would have a farm. This is just purely like a Minecraft thing. So I wanted to kind of break it up by adding this massive forest. And you really can't see much of it from either side. You can just see a little bit of the Wayne Manor in the background. So I kind of want to direct my focus now to the first floor, or the ground floor as people may say. And as of right now, it's okay. It's a bit plain. And I've kind of got some ideas in terms of not only just like changing the countertops, or I want to do a completely makeover of the kitchen, but maybe some banners, like banner designs for like Wayne Manor, just to kind of give it a bit more like family legacy vibes, and adding a few more bits and bobs like that. So I'm just going to run through the entire first floor with you as it is right now, and then I'm going to just completely make over the entire area, and then we're going to go back and talk about it. A slight change of plan, and because this video has been delayed by a week, I have just gone and upgraded everything. So I'm going to go through the entire building, and I will show you pictures of like what it looked like before and what it looked like after. And I will tell you now, there's a lot of change, and it's for the good. It actually looks fantastic. So as I turn around and open these doors, you would be welcome with not very nice, decorations. And now there's a lot more added in, some banners, some beehives. I've used a lot of beehives for this upgrade because they kind of look like countertops, and I added this like sign with an item frame and slab to kind of look like drawers. So you'll see a lot of that dotted around the entire build. Same with like pressure plates with item frames in. And going straight into the middle, I've done a few little walls added on the outside and some stairs, and added some new lighting up here. And instead of a painting, we now have the Wayne Manor kind of W. I wanted to add banners, but I'm really terrible at banners, so I've only used banners for one thing, and you'll see that later. But yeah, I just really wanted a W in that kind of centerpiece, and it looks so much better. And I've also added some more beams dotted around. And as we go down here, don't know why I'm in third person, but I've changed the look of these plants. And before they were composters, and they looked too blocky. I needed a little bit of shape added to this, and I think this was a really good way to go. So I've used the pots with a tiny pot in the middle with a dead bush and some acacia leaves, and I think that's a really nice thing, and that's now mirrored on either side. So I've now removed the door that goes into the library because we have one down here. And as I will kind of just quickly go through just some bits that I've now hollowed out or just changed because of decoration purposes or whatever, just so to add some lighting and some, bits and bobs. And we're going to go down this corridor here. So before it was just really kind of dull. You know what? I'm not even going to explain what everything was before. The picture will show you. And now it is now jam-packed with loads of different things. I wanted to add a lot more different shapes and heights and everything of the sort. Added this little part in here just for lighting purposes. But I mean, it's alright. You don't really see it that much. Now, the trophy room. Over time of building this has been such a long process of just gaining so many materials, mining trees. It's been absolute nightmare. But in the time, there has been some thunderstorms, and I have a trident now, and I've been waiting for these moments for a very long time. I have managed to get myself a zombie head and a creeper head, and of course they both ended in deaths, but at the end of the day I managed to get 2 heads, and I'm thinking of adding in a wither skeleton skull at some point, but that's just going to take some time to get, obviously, because that's just all RNG. Now, I'm going to show you this bathroom. The bathrooms have been absolutely upgraded to the max. They have gone from 0 to 100. I've added such a variety of different things. So I've added some glow berries. I've used some banners from a tutorial online, some candles, and I've added this little privacy kind of trapdoor part here because it's really in front of this window. And again, some beehives and some barrels. And I love this. This is such a massive upgrade. I've also made this a little bit tinier, this room in particular, just because I needed more room out here just to kind of give more room for bookshelves and of course a diamond armor stand, because why not? The ballroom, like I said, it has not changed, not at all. And we'll go straight into the VIP living room. And there was one thing with all these sofas was I used a lot of mushroom blocks or terracotta, and I kind of wanted to reevaluate the shape that I was going with this. So I decided to just go back to like mangrove wood and grow some mangrove trees. And I really loved the kind of soft red that it gives. And with that, I've made this different shape with some trapdoors at the back and caused this to look really, really nice. And I've really made use of the gap underneath the staircase to add some more bookshelves and kind of, you know, units, let's say. And I've added a lot of jukeboxes and a lot of rails. Now, I just want to make it clear, these rails symbolize cables, kind of like cable management with a jukebox. I've tried my best to make it seem like that, but whether or not it looks that way, I'm not entirely sure. Let's go all the way to the private side of the building, of this floor, and just prepare yourself. So we're going to go straight into the living room. So here is a picture of what it looked like before. I'll just add 2 pictures in there because there are like 2 different angles. And as soon as we walk into here, it has been changed. The layout change has happened. So I've moved the sofas around. I've also added a little fireplace here, which looks really good. And one thing that I've done with some of the ground floors is added these beams in to kind of give like a sense of like it's quite old and kind of like Tudor like architecture. And I've also upgraded this little bookshelf here, just added a little bit more shape and kind of, you know, style to it, let's say. And I really, really like how it's looked out. And this part hasn't changed a lot, but there's a few just like nice visual changes that really kind of add well and just break up the complete blockiness of what Minecraft is. So using a lot of stairs, trapdoors, signs, and all that kind of good stuff. Next, we have the dining room. So this room hasn't really changed a lot, I would say. I think this is the room that was kind of quite content of what it was before. So we're going to pop in and here is what it's looking like. So again, more jukeboxes and rails. And as you can see, I've added in some plates with some item frames and some food items to kind of make it look like you are sitting down and eating. So I really like that. And again, added in some beams. And yeah, it looks really, really good. But again, nothing much has changed in terms of layout design because the proportions of this room is quite difficult anyways. So I just wanted to keep it a bit simplistic. Moving on to my favorite room of the house now. And I don't know why I was so proud of this room when I first built it. And I have to admit, it looks absolutely terrible. And I will tell you now, it no longer looks terrible. It is gorgeous. And there is so much stuff going on. So I would like to welcome you all to the new kitchen. And oh my goodness, there is so much going on. And I just want to break it all down kind of simplistically, you know. So we've got a little sitting area that has now been moved. So it's just kind of built in small, out the way, because we've got the dining room just over there. We've got loads of storage compartments, loads of pots scattered around. This is our fridge with all our food, kind of running low. And the center island with the countertops in the kitchen in particular, I wanted it to be pistons because for some reason I really like the look of pistons. After working with blast furnaces in the Batcave, I kind of looked at these kind of blocks differently. And then we've also got this stone structure here, which has some storage areas and also the oven. I've also used these like pillager banners just to kind of add a little bit more to it. And added some sinks on this side of the place. So I've completely removed the seating area. And yeah, I just really like how this looks. There is so much going on. This is definitely my favorite room of the house. It's so gorgeous. It's just, I'm in love. Now, that was a lot of information to process. But I've got one more room to show you, and then I can kind of go on and show you the basement, which has not been complete. I just want to show you the kind of plan of what I would like to do. So we're gonna go into the library now. So I always say this hasn't changed much, but I mean, it kind of has. And here we go. So with the bookcases, you'll see that I've added the other type of bookcase now, where you can add in your books and kind of change these styles and whatnot. And I definitely now removed the door, so I've just added in a little painting in there and just added some pottery pots and other little bits and bobs, just again complementing what we had before. The new paintings are absolutely lovely, so I just wanted to add a little bit more variety. And there we go. There is the new library, which you can only access through these doors now. So now it's time to go downstairs into the basement, and this is where I've left up now. So as we walk down, what I have done is I have gotten rid of everything in this blacksmith area, ready to put the wine cellar in here instead, because the wine cellar will now be our storage room. And I kind of wanted to open it up a little bit, have like a little seating area before you go into this room. And then I'm now kind of venturing forth in terms of where am I putting this blacksmith and armory, which I kind of want to base it more onto the Arkham Origins kind of predator map, I believe that's what it is. So I want to kind of go through and just kind of look at it and see what we can do. But there we go. That is where I'm at. But yes, this has been a really big rambly video, and I thought I was going to have time to add in this basement, but I really have not got the time. So that will be for next video, I promise. And everything will be every 2 weeks from now on, because this was like the kind of hard part done. So, and I hope you guys understand that it's been such a long, different thing. And as well as that, I work in retail and it's Christmas. So it's been very busy and I've been picking up shifts as much as I can. And there we go. So I hope you are satisfied with kind of this upgrade so far. I am absolutely loving it, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself for allowing myself to say that this was complete before, because it really wasn't. And yeah, there we go, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.